Hello, I'm Gene Keenan. I work on the sales and strategy teams here at Responsive Ads. Before we get started, I want to take about 2 minutes of your time to introduce Responsive Ads for publishers. We are the leader in advanced creative technology for publishers. If you're looking to boost revenue, enhance user engagement, and stand out in the programmatic space, you're in the right place. At Responsive Ads, we specialize in adaptive creative solutions that require no code changes on your website. Our fluid creative technology delivers ads that dynamically adjust to any screen size or orientation, like water that fills a cup. This ensures a perfect fit and a super premium user experience. These aren't just flexible, they're designed to maximize your impact and revenue potential, all with the ease of use that you can rely on. We have all the formats you need, like mastheads, page scrollers, wallpapers, adhesions, and more, plus over 350 templates that cover the gamut from video carousels, AR, games, data capture, and multi-article scrollers. We also offer a premium programmatic solution with a format that fits seamlessly into any 250 high ad slot. Take, for example, the masthead space at the top of the page, where you currently might run this 970 by 250. Our 250 high fluid format stretches edge to edge, creating a bold, dynamic presence that eliminates white space and delivers pure brand space that captivates your audiences and drives results. With responsive ads, you can achieve higher eCPMs, improve click-through rates, and increase engagement, all without the time and cost of producing multiple ad variants. This means a significant potential for increased revenue. We integrate seamlessly with your existing tech stack and provide robust analytics tools to optimize every impression. In short, responsive ads empowers publishers to transform their ad strategy with a scalable, premium quality creatives tailored for today's digital audience. That's our pitch. And now on to the meat of today's presentation, how the LA Times uses responsive ads to increase production and revenue.
I'm Rocco Guccione. I'm Digital Design Manager at the Los Angeles Times.
So Rocco, tell me, how did you learn about responsive ads?
I've been with San Diego Union Tribune for years and years and years, probably early 2000s. When we were bought by the Tribune company, that's when I got to the digital side from started off as a print designer. And it was through a Tribune Corporation that already had a subscription to responsive ads. That was my first introduction. And that was probably maybe 2018, I think.
Oh, wow. So you've been using it for quite a while.
Yeah, I think about 6 years now. Yeah, thanks to Tribune Corporation, that was my introduction to responsive ads platform, which is fantastic.
That's cool. So how many people are on your team and how many are using responsive ads on, say, a daily basis?
My department is rather small, so it's me and two other designers. So a total of 3 designers are using the platform.
Interesting. So how many campaigns do you produce in a week?
I think our busiest seasons will be when we're building ads for the Academy Awards and for the Emmy Awards. We'll be building maybe 20 lighthouses per week on top of all the other ads we're building, banner ads and everything else.
How did you come up with the PSD workflow arrangement that you have? It's a pretty interesting process. I have not seen that a lot with other clients, but I think it's a really great idea.
I think it was almost just, we were trying a bunch of different solutions. Originally, we had what we're calling the lighthouse as more of an interstitial that would overlay the web page. And I think it was one of Google's ad experience recommendations to get rid of interstitials. So we worked with our development department to see what kind of ad we could. I think at that time it was an 800 by 600, or maybe it was 1160 by 600 ad size. And that would scale proportionally, so we didn't have to work with the different image sizes. But it was decided to go from that 1160 by 600 size to go with more of a strip across the top. And since that wasn't being scaled down proportionally, we came up with the idea of having the most common browser widths, 2160, 1160, yeah, I think 1800, then 620, and I'll have to take a look at the PSD to get the rest of those. But because it was in a strip format, and it wouldn't be scaling down proportionally like the previous version. Um, the only alternative, aside from building everything fully responsive, was to come up with those different image sizes. So it was pretty much out of necessity, and the different format from being an image that would scale down proportionally just to strip across the top. It seemed like the only way that we could really have this ad turn around without having to build it fully responsive was to come up with that image-based template.
Do you talk directly to clients, or do you have an intermediary? Do you have any feedback in terms of like what people think about responsive ads on the client side?
It really depends on the client. Although with our workflow of using this template that has the different image sizes on it, we'll give that to the advertiser, and so they have as much control over how the layout is going to look. When we use those templates, very rarely will we have a revision, unless it's something that they have on their side, maybe a typo, or they want to change the wording. Using that PSD really cuts down on the number of revisions. And since we deal with a lot of agencies more than building a lot of things from scratch in house, the PSD really doesn't come in handy. We don't have as many. Well, we have some clients that are a little more challenging, that they'll have multiple revisions, but I would say that's maybe 5% of the advertisers. So the number of revisions are getting very low, maybe 1 or 2 revisions per campaign, and sometimes none if they're using our Photoshop template. 99% of the campaigns, we have planners and the sales team that are talking directly with the advertisers. We will talk to the advertisers if they have questions, and specifically if there's something more complicated. The animated overlay, we do require to have a meeting with the advertisers to make sure that we fully understand what they're requesting, and they know the limitations of the ad regarding file size limits and other things like that. So we'll meet with the clients on a case-by-case basis. But with the majority of the ads we have, especially the Lighthouse and the RAD 1160 by 300, with those templates, there's usually it's pretty self-explanatory. And seeing the test pages and sample pages from Media Kit, I think that fills in most of the questions, or answers most of the questions that they have.
What have been some of the advantages of responsive ads for the LA Times?
The platform is fantastic, and it's easy to use. Very flexible with coming up with new templates and adjusting templates that are specific for some of the ads that we have, like the Lighthouse. And just quick and easy to use. Proofing process is fantastic. Tools are great. Although we don't do a lot of custom build things, we have used animation. We use a lot of features. The animation slideshows, the live text is fantastic. It just, the tools allow for quick and builds and enable us to turn these ads around very quickly. So the platform is very flexible and easy to use. And the support is fantastic. So we definitely appreciate everybody on the Responsive Ads team. Can't say enough good things about the responsiveness of the support. Anytime we have a question, it seems like you guys are available pretty much 24 hours a day, which we try not to get you in the middle of the night, but the support is just fantastic.
I'd like to talk a little bit about support. How often do you need support? How does support go for you? Is it like a frustrating thing, or is it like really simple and flawless?
I think the last time is when we were working on the animated overlay for the first time, and
Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop from Netflix. And every now and then, when we're running into an issue with our trafficking, it often helps to after we get a test page, and the traffickers aren't able to figure out what's going on, just getting that confirmation from your support team about why things aren't displaying correctly, or maybe why something isn't tracking correctly. But we find 9 times out of 10, that's more of how it's trafficked on our side. But that really helps determine where the problem is and confirm it's not the platform, it's the trafficking, or even the ad tag itself for tracking.
All right. So Rocco, you said that it only takes you about 5 minutes for you or one of your team members to produce a campaign. Do you think we could like get down to brass tacks and actually see a demo of you doing that in 5 minutes?
Okay. One of the ads that my team uses the responsive ads platform quite a bit for is what we call a video lighthouse. And we use a template that we send to our advertisers when they use this Photoshop document, building out their layouts that include a safe area in yellow, and then croppable areas on the outside indicated by the red. This allows us to build these ads very, very quickly. We can turn this around probably in a couple minutes. So we have 6 different images that will appear depending on the browser size that this is being served to. And we have a space for a video player if the client has video. And here's an example of what we're doing for, here's an example of what we're doing for Paramount. And they used our template for this Gladiator 2 advertisement. And it's got the 6 images and video player included. So we'll go back to the platform and use the template that we have. And for the template, all we need to do is import a video and then import 6 different image sizes. And I'm just going to go ahead to and not fill these things out just to make this as quick as possible. Now we're in the template. The first thing that we do for this one is we have an image layer for each of the 6 images from our template. And we'll just quickly update these by selecting the image layer and then going to setup and replacing the existing image with one of our 6 images from our template. Now that all the images are imported, next we're going to update the video. Clicking on the video layer and going into setup again. We're going to replace the default video with a video that I already uploaded. And there's our video. And we're also going to update the poster frame, the poster image. And the last thing I'll do is our template has a light gray image or a background image, background color, pardon me. And we're just going to update the background layer to be a black, which will fit better with this design. Okay. And I'll be sure to save. And that's pretty much the ad. So simulating browser width, we'll crop out the outside, keeping the safe area intact in the video. And once we get down to 1160, that should serve the second image. There we go. We can see that the second image is served. And as we get down to 1000, And for our template, when it gets down to under 800 pixels, then we just have the video player and then a background. And same down to 620 and all the way down to our smallest size, which is 320 by 220. And there is some responsiveness between 620, where the height changes, to 520, I believe. And that's pretty much the layout. You can see with our template that already has the 6 images that are croppable on the right side and left-hand side. This can be done within minutes. And we can take a look at the preview.
It's taken everything from me. Rome has taken everything from me. But I will have my vengeance.
Gladiator rages you against them. And then go. People carried you into Vegas.
Could we see a breakout view that shows all the different sizes? Do you send a proofing link for clients to check stuff out, or do you put all the coding up on a test page and let the clients review it that way?
Deploy a URL or trackers, we'll go to the actions and edit deployment. And I'll just put in a simple URL here. Although we often implement multiple impression trackers and click-through URLs and click trackers. So that's applying the URLs. And then we'll publish after all our changes are done to commit our changes and commit the URL. We'll create an ad tag to provide to our traffickers. And the last step will be creating a preview to share with our advertisers. And we can just copy this URL and then provide this to the advertisers.